NFL Sunday Ticket is brought to you in part by the American Plastics Council.
Back to rainy Alltel Stadium where a downpour is coming. It's coming down like a car wash now as the Jaguars lead the Steelers 21-3 at halftime. Don Criqui with Craig James. Craig, you go to the locker room down 21-3. You're on the road where you haven't had success. Now it's pouring rain. What's your game plan?
Cordell may have wanted to stay in the locker room. What do you think? I think Cordell really needs to come out and he needs to find his wide receivers. They have to stretch it. They have to get out of that 10-yard box right now. And I think that's been their problem in the first half. They haven't stretched the defense, and so the Jaguars are up playing tight on them, really helping themselves defensively.
Let's take a look now at some of the scoring plays. There were some sensational ones. After the Steelers took an early 3-0 lead, Jimmy Smith broke off. Deep pattern. Brunell was right there for the 34-yard touchdown.
Jimmy said he wanted to hit them early and hit them deep and quick, and I think the Fred Taylor running is what has helped set up a lot of this. That play action right there, dropping back. The linebackers don't know where they are, and the receivers have gotten beyond the linebacker level, taking advantage of it.
There are the first half stats as you see a dominance in the passing yards, 169 yards thrown by Mark Brunell, and of course the turnovers were a big difference. 2 Steeler turnovers in the first half. Now, let's go down to Beasley Reese on the sideline.
Coach Coughlin, you started out a little bit slow, but then you guys really took care of business.
Well, we got better as it went along. Hopefully we'll get better in the second half. We're being aggressive. That's what we're looking for, is the physical play. Hopefully it'll continue here.
Does this rain give anybody an advantage?
Well, obviously be careful of the ball. Take care of the ball now. That'll be a key thing in the second half. We'll see if we can get some turnovers and take care of the ball.
Thank you, Coach. Back upstairs.
All right, the coach, he's taking care of business. He couldn't have been too happy at the outset, but he is a great opening day coach. As mentioned, his Jaguars have won 5 straight opening games, and the Steelers have struggled on opening day. This rain now is really about as heavy as it gets, like a fire hose in a flat rock. The Jaguars will kick the ball off to start the second half. We said well a lot there though, Craig. Now you've played collegially at SMU and you get a lot of hot humid weather. Playing in rain, you've got to protect the ball.
I think that's probably what both coaches are talking to their players about, protecting the football. But you know, Pittsburgh doesn't have the luxury of really being that conservative. They've got to come out and throw the ball and take some chances.
There's the kickoff, hit downfield. Troy Edwards runs it back for the Steelers, and he gets out to the 30. Markers are fired in. Could be a blocking foul against Pittsburgh. One thing, the rain moved the intense heat out of here, but it sure upped the humidity. Like 110% humidity.
Boy, you know they feel a lot better on that field right now.
Holding call on the return against the Steelers, so they're set back. And Bill Cowher will see his team start from the deep end again.
Bills want to know what number. Let me know who I need to go speak with on my team.
Bill Cowher in his 10th year, his 10th opening day as the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. His team has not known a lot of success here, though. As mentioned earlier, the Steelers are 1-5 over the years here at Alltel Stadium. They did win here last season. Cordell, Kevin Hardy, playing an all-pro game. This guy was the #2 player picked in the entire draft when he came out of Illinois 6 years ago. Had the one great season in '99 when he went to the Pro Bowl. They weren't too happy with him. He wouldn't restructure his contract in the offseason. They had terrible salary cap problems here. But he's playing like they expected him to.
I think you may have had a little hint of what they're expecting to do on the Jaguars defense. They're going to come at Cordell Stewart. They're going to run blitz. They're going to pass blitz. They're going to get after him and force the error.
In the rain, it's 2nd down and 15. And the ball is out to the 25-yard line as Hines Ward makes the catch and is quickly taken down by Fernando Bryant. Gain of 10 yards on the play. Still leaves 3rd down and 5.
A lot of focus on both ball clubs right now about maintaining the intensity levels. It takes a while for a football player to get used to playing 4 quarters, you know, and in the preseason you're kind of lollygagging, not doing a whole lot. All of a sudden now you got to cinch it up and go back out and play the second half, which you haven't had to do in the past.
Well, right now they've got to cinch it up on 3rd down and 5. They're going to keep blitzing here again. Hardy. Well, and a catch and a first down for the Steelers as the ball is triggered over the middle. Cordell going to his go-to guy, Hines Ward, for 7 yards and a first down.
And again, I mean, Cordell told us in the meetings, I personally believe in Hines Ward. I have confidence in what he's going to do. I believe he's going to make the catch. And I think Hines has stepped it up here, and he's really an example to the other receivers about making the difficult catch. Using your body now that it's raining, not your hands.
Normally they want him hand catching the ball, but that's tough to do now. Stewart 13 of 20 for 127 yards. And the interception, which really wasn't his fault, it skipped off his receiver's hands, Bobby Shaw, late in the second quarter. Now Jeremy Tooman, one of the tight ends, looked like he left early. Illegal motion signaled against the Steelers.
On Pittsburgh.
You know, as a rule of thumb, if you're going to jump off sides, if you're going to move quick, hey, let me tell you something. The last thing you want to do is an Olay thing. You got to come out here. You got to get in his britches. Everybody's watching you. The Olay doesn't work on that one.
So that sets the Steelers back to 1st down and 15. Pitch back. Bettis. He's seen nothing. There's been nothing there for Jerome Bettis today. 7 carries for just 14 yards for the bus. The bus has been running uphill today. Zaraway's been the most productive back. 4 carries for 30 yards for Amos Zaraway. He's in the game now as the bus goes out.
A lot easier to defend the run right now if you push it to the outside with a rainy, damp field down there. It's been raining what do you say, 20 minutes now? It's been raining hard, 25 minutes?
At least, yeah. Well defensed as Cordell tries to go to Hines Ward, and coming over to make the play is number 21, Aaron Beasley. Another good play by Beasley. And our referee, Mac Gentry, makes a call against the Jaguars. Jaguars, like any of the Florida teams, they practice a lot in rain. They're out there when it rains because they know that eventually they'll be at home and they're going to have to play in it. So they have a big leg up in this weather.
Both ways. I think they had the blessing earlier for them because it was steamy and hot. Now it's raining and they're used to it.
Home cooking. Nothing like it on opening day for the Jaguars. Cordell has the ball slapped back and very nearly picked off. He was looking at Troy Edwards. Paul Spicer knocks it back. Next, the ultimate test of the world's toughest tennis. The men's championship live from Flushing Meadows. Pete Sampras versus the Australian sensation young Leighton Hewitt. For more U.S. Open news, go to cbs.sportsline.com. AOL keyword CBS Sportsline. Driving rain in Jacksonville, Florida. 3rd down and 10 for Cordell and the Steelers. Stewart makes the throw. Open guy. Too much on it. Incomplete. Steelers have to punt. I tell you, we've seen some rainstorms over the years. This is as good as or as bad as they get.
Well, we're going to get a shot here now to see how Chris Brown does as a punter.
Regular punter Josh Miller apparently injured a hip when a punt was blocked by Donovan Darius in the first half. So this is the place kicker for the Steelers. Chris Brown can't handle the wet ball. He gets it up and kicks it downfield, and it takes a Steeler hop. So it worked out all right. What could have been a disaster. So Brown picks the ball up. They had a return set up. They didn't have a punt block set up. And the Jaguars have the ball when we come back to Jacksonville. The rain continues to pour on down. And the Jaguars continue to thrive as they now go on offense here in the third quarter. Fred Taylor. He grew up in the state of Florida, played for the Gators, runs ahead for 6 yards.
Hell, if you're Fred right now, I'll tell you what's motivating him. Number 28's calling this a stats half. He's going to come out and try to bust them for 100 yards in the second half. That's what motivates him. I guarantee it. Sloppy tackling guys, walling around in the mud, not getting up, making plays.
A stats half. That's
stats half, baby. That's right. You got to find a way to motivate yourself.
Well, he's got some nice numbers already, Greg. 11 carries for 60 yards for the great Fred Taylor. Second down, a long three. Hit, drives ahead. He has a first down for the Jaguars, and I think that's going to game plan now with a 21-3 lead. 2 arms on the ball and straight ahead.
You heard what Tom Coughlin said to Beasley. Protect the football. Take care of it. Don't give it up.
And here's an ominous stat. Our stats man, Bill George. When Jacksonville has led at the half, their record is
40 wins and 7 losses. That's impressive.
Coach Coughlin has to feel good. First down and 10. Brunell hands up. Fred Taylor. Lots of Steelers come hitting as defense still playing spirited football. Casey Hampton, their #1 draft choice out of Texas, number 98, makes the stop.
He looked impressive there.
Follow all the games on NFL.com, and after the games get in-depth analysis and recaps from the experts only at NFL.com or AL keyword NFL.com. Second down and 12. Fred Taylor, the lone back. Brunell gives to him. He can be a long-range offense, and Fred Taylor with that shifting, cutting move drives it down to the 45-yard line of the Steelers. A gain of 7 yards on the play. Third down and 5. Check of the scoreboard. Around the NFL, New Orleans now comes from behind and leads at Buffalo. Kansas City continues to lead the Raiders at KC. Cleveland and Seattle hanging in a low-scoring game at Cleveland Brown Stadium. The Bears continue to lead the Ravens at Baltimore. And so do the underdog Carolina Panthers lead at Minnesota. Brunell shifty, looking around, fires on the run, and it's incomplete. Looking downfield, Dwayne Washington was covering Sean Dawkins, so they failed to convert on a third down try, and the Jaguars will punt the ball back to the Steelers.
Yeah, I tell you what, there's a lot of post-play discussions taking place between Earl Holmes and Tony Baselli again down there, right next to the referee. And, you know, one thing that we will be able to see and notice here in the second half, we might not check out Fred Taylor having 100 yards, but there will be some intensity and some late hits. Don't stand around a pile in this game.
Could be dangerous. Hank Poteet back now for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's standing at his 10-yard line, ready to punt the ball. It's Chris Hansen punting for the first time in an NFL game. A wet ball, ball's on the field, and the Steelers will take it over. It draws a crowd, doesn't it? Now the Jaguars have it live. They pick up the ball. This is a live play. Finally, the Steelers come and make a tackle on Marlon McCree, the free safety who was in on the punt team. So now Tom Coughlin, even with a 21-3 lead, not happy because he saw his punt team break down last week in a preseason game against the Cowboys when Hansen had one block, first punt of the day, and it was run back for a touchdown. We brought that up yesterday in our meeting with Tom Coughlin. He got a little exercised over somebody missing his block. Brett Dennis. Now the bus starts to bang out yards as he takes it inside the 15-yard line and down to the 12. Still a lot of time left to play. We have 8:06 to play in the third quarter.
Oh, yes. It is not what you want. You know, I think I've become more conservative and cautious now out of the game. I mean, I feel like a coach right now. If I'm Coughlin, I'm scared to death of this drive and the situation in this game right here.
Well, you were pointing out, Craig, the two games that the Steelers came from way behind in, the Oakland game and the Baltimore game to win last year. They won't quit. Pitch back, the bus. Lunges ahead on second down. He did about as well as he could to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 4. Ball positioned on the 12-yard line. Tackled by Paul Spicer, playing a good game, number 95, and replacing the injured Tony Brackens.
Gary Mueller said Spicer's not Tony Brackens, but he plays hard. And as long as he maintains his gap responsibilities and doesn't get fooled, then we'll be okay. Second-year guy, pretty good size to him, got some quickness about him, but he has one of those motors that never stops.
Yeah, he said he'll give you everything he's got on every snap. Whether or not it's good enough, we'll have to see. 3rd down. Stewart rolling out. He's going to carry it. Throws on the run. Open man. It's broken up in the end zone. Now what do you do on 4th down? You kick the field goal? I guess you do, because they're coming out. Is that it looks like, is that a marker down in the end zone? Something yellow's down there. There's a couple of yellow items. But they're definitely penalty markers down in the end zone. So the clock is stopped with 6:48 to play in the 3rd quarter. Jacksonville leading as they did at the half, 21-3. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Second call of its type against the Jaguars today. Big call. Lets the Steelers get new life. 1st and goal.
Well, yeah, number 29, Jason Kraft, back in here. Does he take his hat off? Yeah. Hey, they don't want to see that up in there. They don't want any of that, none of that stuff there. Keep the hat on. Let me ask you.
It'll end up as the 1st down.
Fernando Bryant. He and Coach Coughlin not a love-in over there. But it is. Here comes Fernando. This guy's been a good player, though, out of Alabama, former #1 draft choice. 3rd year in the league, but at the unsportsmanlike conduct gives him 1st and goal.
You think you'll have coffee and donuts with Coughlin in the morning?
They have the donut program here. Get some of those guys on the gain a pound a day diet. Ball on the field. Who's got it? Jaguars say they do. Buffalo Jags are celebrating. No official call yet. It is Jaguars football. The Steelers turn it over for a 3rd time.
Does he pull out soon? Does he pull out too quick? Yeah, it hit his hands. It wasn't a bad snap. Stewart just didn't get his hands on the ball, and man, that's exactly what the Jaguars needed.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, celebrating 30 years of freedom. 30 years, one mission, low fares. Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade, is it in you? And by Hertz, the world's #1 in-car rental.
I tell you, these Jaguar fans not only stay out in the rain, they seem to love it. They like that turnover as the good snap, but they just couldn't handle the ball. The combinations of Hardings getting the ball to Cordell Stewart, and now it is 1st and 10 Jaguars. Grinnell hands off. Steelers hunting the football. I think we can be pretty sure, Craig, we're going to see more turnovers. That ball's hard to handle, particularly when you try to punt it.
And a sense of urgency here by the Steelers defense. You could see it the way they came off the ball, the way they came out of the huddle here. They know they're down here. They've got to get field position for the quarterback. They need a turnover, and it's a dangerous place to be for the Jaguars offense right now.
Got to protect the ball. That's what he was telling Beasley coming out of the half. Protect the ball. 2nd down and 10. Red Taylor, man who runs well in the rain, is the deep back. Quick hitch, near side. And an open field tackle is made. Jimmy Smith gets the ball. Dwayne Washington brings him down. Let's go back to Beasley.
Thanks a lot, Don. This rain is getting more interesting. It is not blowing straight down. There's a slight curve to it. It's a little wind out here. And just a few minutes ago, we heard thunder, and a couple of the photographers that I was standing around threw their metal equipment down. That's the only reason they stop a game in the National Football League. We'll keep our eye on the weather. Back up to you.
Jeez, you're going to need a new CBS Blazer next week.
How'd you like to sit next to Beasley on his flight home? Wet rat. He's wet.
Red Taylor on third down. Drives ahead, and I don't think he got there. The Steeler defense stands tall, and so the punt unit comes back out now for the Jaguars with 5:15 to play in the third quarter. Joey Porter makes a big hit, number 55. Guy with the speed to cover the field.
All right, watch this right here. Watch his legs, how he runs and gets him back up the field. Joey Porter says, I'm becoming a much better football player. Now, this is a battle of legs. Look at number 55, Porter, how he runs him back. Whoever uses their legs usually wins.
Let's see how the punter Hansen uses his leg now. But first he has to catch the ball, something he couldn't do in the last long snap. Gets this one. Aims it downfield. Well hit. Hank Poteet from the 30. And Hank is level as he gets out to the 43-yard line. 53-yard punt, a 42-yard return. And coming down to make the play was James Boyd, a rookie draft choice out of Penn State. Third-round pick makes the big hit. Steelers have it when we come back. Back to Jacksonville. Small craft advisories in the ocean. This is the St. Johns River nearby to Alltel Stadium. They thrive on it down here.
That may have been our ride to the airport. That boat.
That's the way out. First down and 10 Steelers. They first have to make the center quarterback connection. They do. And the bus takes it ahead. And moves the ball to the 46-yard line. A gain of maybe 3 on the play. Second down and 7. Tackled by Hardy Nickerson, playing well again in his 15th year in the NFL. The middle backer for the Jaguars, originally a Steeler. There's Hardy Nickerson, now 10 games last season with a knee injury. He's come back big time. 36 years old, 5 times a Pro Bowl player, Hardy Nickerson.
Tight right.
A little less rain, but it's still coming down. Play fake. Screen pass. Jerome Bettis. And good open field tackling. The first guy to hit him was Marlon McCree, the rookie free safety from Kentucky, a 7th-round draft choice. Then Meyer came in and got part of him. Rob Meyer.
Well, here's what hustle does for you. Get to the football. Meyer comes over, makes a nice play, stops it from being a first down. Hey, nice job running. McCree goes too low, learns that Bettis is not just a big bus, but he's got a little bit of a lift in those shocks. I mean, he can lift his bus up and go on by if you go too low.
Yeah, he's got a lot of shake for 250 pounds. He's not a straight line runner. That's why he's getting so many yards. Third down. Cornell throws and makes a connection. Long ball is lost. Pittsburgh's had a lot of drops in this game, although the ball did come in low to Hines Ward. Brings up 4th down and 5, and the Steelers send out their punt team. Backup punters in the game for the Steelers. That's Chris Brown, normally the place kicker. He'll also do that, but the regular punter, Josh Miller, went out in the first half after he was hurt when a punt was blocked. Damon Gibson, number 85, is back in the wind and rain at Alltel Stadium, looking to run it back.
Used to be R.J. Soward. You know, he's serving that 4-game suspension. Coughlin said, I'm looking for 10 at least on every return in this ball game.
End over end kick. Gibson comes up and catches it in the rain and gets ahead to the 25-yard line. And there, with 2:50 to go in the third quarter, after a tackle by Jason Simmons of the Steelers, the Jaguars are set to go on offense, still leading 21-3.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the HP PhotoSmart digital camera. How will you use it? And by the all-new 200 horsepower Acura RSX Type S.
With Craig James and Beasley Reese, this is Don Criqui back at Alltel Stadium, Jacksonville, Florida. In the rain, the Jaguars leading as they did at the half, 21-3. 2 years ago, the Jaguars came within one game of going to the Super Bowl. 14-2 in the regular season. Last year, a losing record. Today, making a statement as they come from behind. Now a penalty marker's fired in, and they start up again after the play. Big Tony Baselli coming over, cautioning Jimmy Smith.
Yeah, well, again, you're going to have single coverage over here. One guy trying to take care of Jimmy Smith. That's not going to happen. Dwayne Washington's a good corner, but you really need to cover over there and help him out with a safety from the inside. And how about Tony Baselli being the peacemaker? Here's a guy that's been causing all the ruckus the whole game.
Yeah, he had an unfortunately call against him in the first half.
Unnecessary roughness. Number 20 for Pittsburgh. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Dwayne Washington, the 8-year veteran, who matches up with Jimmy Smith every time they play the Jaguars.
Well, I said this last quarter, you know, the beginning of this quarter, there's a lot of emotions in this game right here. And the last thing a player wants to do is have somebody release their frustrations on him. And certainly Jimmy's not going to put up with that.
Jimmy's had a nice day. Jimmy Smith, one of the great ones in the league. Man who's been to 4 straight Pro Bowls and has caught 2 touchdown passes today. The 15-yard penalty advances the ball now way out as Smith has caught 7 today for 114 yards and 2 scores. He's a guy that had a lot of problems, as we mentioned, stomach problems, 3 minor surgeries in the offseason. Tom Coughlin there to see him every day, and they together plan for this season. Jimmy Smith said, "I'll be back," and here he is on opening day, having another great day. Fred Taylor on first down runs the ball at the Steelers and gets to the 48-yard line. Tonight on 60 Minutes, why is Henry Kissinger being accused of aiding and abetting an assassination? The victim's son talks to 60 Minutes tonight.
Tell you, a guy I like in there for the Steelers right now, nose tackle Casey Hampton, the rookie. He's really pushing. He's getting some movement up there on that center. I mean, that looks good, impressive.
Out of Texas, Tom Coughlin, they interviewed him. They were looking to draft him possibly. They asked him about leadership, Coughlin said, and Hampton told him, "I'm the leader." They like that attitude. Here's Brunell running. They didn't draft him. They drafted Marcus Stroud, a defensive tackle from Georgia. Joey Porter makes the tackle on Brunell, and the game clock goes down to 1:30 to go in the third quarter.
And you know what, they get smart here. Now you got some pressure and a lot of things we've seen earlier where when Brunell leaves that he's able to look and find the single guy or that high single guy that's back there. This time they doubled up on the deep ball. Nothing was there for him, so he wisely gets down. That's a wise old man right there, isn't it?
Cincinnati putting it to New England. And the New Orleans Saints now rolling. Here's the Kansas City down to a 3-point lead as you check the scoreboard. Seattle leading the Browns 6-3. Opening day numbers. There's, I think, rain in a lot of parts of the country. So with the timeout called on the field now, scoring's down in a lot of places. There's been no scoring since the rain started to fall here. It's still 21-3 Jaguars. Jerome the Bus Bettis not running well in the rain today. The bus has just 23 yards on 11 carries.
Looks like he's waiting on the bus to come by.
Right now, the ball is in the hands of the Jaguars, and Brunell knows what to do with it. Here comes a blitz as he makes a throw and a connection for a first down to Jimmy Smith. 9-yard gain on the play. Oh, Jimmy Smith.
Jimmy Smith is so good about his discipline of giving himself the time and the room to come across. When he gets to the inside there, a little clearing pattern. Townsend can't keep up with him. Nice job. Look at it. Thumbs up here. Huh? You think he's not into that? Exactly.
Well, when we talked to him, Craig, he kept emphasizing, "I'm excited." He must have said it 5 times. He really felt good about this team, and after a slow start, they're excited about him, and he should be excited about the team. Up 21-3 on opening day. Back to the run. At any moment, Fred Taylor can break it. He is a long ball offense. Anytime he gets it in his hands, potentially, he can go to the root. Rodney Bailey is in at defensive end for Kimo von Oelhoffen, and he makes the stop. We now wind down to the final moments of the third quarter. That's the end of the third quarter with the score: Jacksonville 21, the Steelers 3. We'll be back to Alltel Stadium after this message and a word from your local station. Back and ready for the start of the fourth quarter. The Jaguars have the ball, looking to protect it and the lead, 21-3. Steelers come with a blitz. Handoff goes to Fred Taylor. And they'll get him for a loss on the play. So Taylor, who had rushed 18 times for 75 yards, now has rushed 19 times for about 70 yards. He lost 5. Aaron Smith, the high motor defensive end from Northern Colorado, ran him down, number 91.
You think maybe the Steelers defense heard that I was saying that Taylor was going to have one of those stats halves, because they're shutting him down.
Well, somebody heard it, because they shut him down somewhat. New Orleans with command now of the Bills. Kansas City holding to a 17-14 lead over the Raiders. Seattle with a 3-point lead on Cleveland. Here's Mark Brunell standing in. It was a fastball, and his tight end Kyle Brady takes it down. As the scoreboard changes around the NFL, we go back to Jim Nantz in New York. Jim?
All right, Don and Craig, the Raiders down 11, third quarter at Kansas City, but Rich Gannon hooks up with Tim Brown for the touchdown, and then Gannon runs it in for a two-pointer. Two-point conversions, now field goal game. Let's go back to Don and Craig. Greetings from all your pals in the studio. Back to you.
Well, thank you very much. Greetings to you. I kind of like being on the other end of this thing, Jim. I like listening to you. You know, you sound good over there.
Hey, the Raiders, they don't like to lose to Kansas City. They thought Tim Brown was going to have a big year because Jerry Rice would take some of the double cover off him. Now the punt is hit into the end zone. Hank Poteet wisely lets it roll for a touchback. And the Steelers will take over, 1st and 10 at their 20 early in the fourth quarter. Still unable to sustain offense in what is still a driving rain at Jacksonville. This is not good. Kendrell Bell, standout rookie linebacker, 97, and Kimo von Oelhoffen, starting defensive end, both going off the field on the cart with ankle injuries. As Cordell Stewart throws near side. Bobby Shaw has it, loses it, incomplete pass is the ruling. Aaron Beasley, who's had a very good game, covering on the play again. He shakes his head no. This ex-Mountaineer from West Virginia, he's been denying people all day, Craig.
Well, he doesn't have very much stuff to cover, right? They've had like maybe 2 long plays, the Steelers offense, 39 and a 17 or a 19. I mean, 34 and 19. It's just, they're not pushing and trying to get the ball deep down the field.
Rain is starting to clear. Play fake and then a handoff to Jerome Bettis, who's ahead for about 4 yards to the 24-yard line. Stewart throwing the ball today is 14 for 25 or 129 yards. Last season the Steelers were 29th in the National Football League in pass offense, and they changed all those people. Kevin Gilbride was out as offensive coordinator. In came a new coordinator, Mike Mularkey. Tom Clemens is a quarterback coach. Kenny Jackson, a wide receiver coach. They've had trouble sustaining offense here in Jacksonville. Here's a throw, and looks like a catch by Mark Brunell out to the 28-yard line. As we have a moment, we go back to Jim Nantz in New York. Jim?
All right, the Colts in front of the Jets, big, but this West Coast offense, the dink and dunk offense of first-year coach Herman Edwards, and Testaverde finds Richie Anderson to complete a long drive. 14-point difference just starting the fourth quarter. Back to Don Craig.
Thank you, Jim. Herman Edwards, a whole new system in with the Jets. The Colts still with the best offense in the American Conference, if not the whole conference, whole league.
Yeah, I don't think many people are giving enough credit to how long it takes for a new unit to get together and work, too, and come together.
Bringing a new coach, it's a whole new system.
Yeah.
Here's Gibson on a punt return. Free ball picked up by a teammate. And he's on the run. A combined effort as the play is going to go inside the 10-yard line and all the way down to the 5-yard line. James Boyd picking it up, the rookie defensive back from Penn State, and he breaks it all the way down. Finally, Chris Higgins gets him down, Clark Higgins, and it's a 69-yard return after a 46-yard punt.
And I think they were really hoping to have some positive returns today by Gibson. but I don't think they were expecting to get the luck of the bounce like they did here with Boyd going. Now it's going to get one of these ugly things here. They got to make sure that they come out and protect themselves. This is where rivalries really add to the fire. You start piling it on, and a little luck here and luck there. Next thing you know, that second game will be real interesting between these two teams.
They always are. As we mentioned, in the first 5 years of the rivalry, the home team won every time. Last year, Bill Cowher's team won here in Jacksonville. Then the Jags went to Pittsburgh in November and beat the Steelers. Red Taylor knocking on the end zone door, but he doesn't get in. Mike Logan turns him back. The former Jaguar, Mike Logan.
And they come around with a guard and the tackle. Both these guys, there's a lot of guys coming, a lot of traffic getting up to the inside. I thought he should have maybe cut back to the middle. Of course, I've got dry shoes.
Yeah.
Ground's firm underneath me. I didn't have to make a cut on that grass down there.
There are some electrical sounds up here, though.
I'm scared, too. I keep hearing this. If I get electrocuted, just tell the kids I love them.
I'm going to probably go with you. Both on the same wiring setup.
Glad we ate good last night.
A stunning hit put on by Earl Holmes, the inside backer. The man they call the heart of the defense, who blows up running plays just like that.
There's a speed. Now, here's where the guys have to come. They have to get in there. They have to go and penetrate. Earl Holmes from the inside out. He goes and finds the ball carrier, Mac. I mean, that's exactly what they're excited about with Earl Holmes, a guy who can run and really go get the football.
6'2", 250-pound backer out of Florida A&M, back in his home state. Making some big plays, although his team needs a lot more. The Jaguars looking to put a knockout punch on. In fact, if they haven't already. Here's a high ball thrown into Kyle Brady. Comes in too hard. And the field goal unit comes out.
You got to give a lot of help right there. It comes over here, man. I'm telling you, from this side here, Joey Porter, an outstanding athletic play, which makes him force the throw just a little bit before he wanted to, getting it to the back. Now, did y'all notice there, number 50, Earl Holmes? He found the receiver when he dropped. In the first half, I thought that Gilden and Holmes and some of these linebackers weren't necessarily finding the guys to kind of match up with as they went through the zone system.
Well, now on the field is Mike Hollis to try a 22-yard field goal, which he misses. So the Steelers take over the ball. Still no scoring in the second half, 21-3. Tom Coughlin, even with a big lead, he's not happy when anything goes wrong on the playing field. Making a statement game, though, after a 7-9 season a year ago.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Holiday Inn, who gives you more, and more is better. DirecTV, the #1 digital satellite entertainment provider. And by CDW, computing solutions built for business.
Steelers go on offense. First down and 10. Zerouay hit hard as he drives into the line. Zerouay, the most productive runner for the Steelers today. That was his 5th carry for 32 yards total. Gaddis with 28 yards on 12 carries. Back down to Beasley on the sideline.
There's no huddle right now, so I'm going to do this really quickly. It's been amazing here, from dangerously hot to a breezing rain, but these guys are still passing, still cutting. It's also a testament to the quality of this football field. Back upstairs.
Here is Zerouay breaking into open field, and Amos Zerouay takes it straight ahead and drives it out to the 39-yard line. At some point, I think they have to make a decision. It's quick better than power.
Yeah, read these guys right in here. Whichever way they go, you go opposite. Look at that. Nice job by the guard in the center. These guys in here working together to create the running lane for Zerouay. That's teamwork by the guard in the center to create a good running lane for Zerouay.
In only 3 years at West Virginia, he became the Mountaineers' all-time leading rusher with upwards of 4,700 yards. And again, an off-target throw as the ball is thrown to Hines Ward. And it was too low and out of range. It looks like the rain has stopped now, Greg. It's actually turning back into a nice day.
That's all right. Our flights might be on time.
But nobody did anything on offense in the second half. Cardell Stewart is 4 of 9 throwing the ball for 21 yards. man, the scouting report says, is at his best out of the pocket. Some teams feel he's more accurate when he throws on the run.
Finish strong. Finish strong. That's what he needs to be saying in that huddle.
And gets set to go to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh next week to meet the Browns. Jaguars head to Chicago to play the Bears. Hard hit put on Hines Ward over the middle, and the ball skips incomplete. 9:07 left to play, as you see.
You know, I'm not a genius up here, but there's just absolutely the game is being played from here to here. The receivers are here. They'll run a little flat. They'll come in here and curl. They got to stretch and get down the field. I just don't like that. I don't like that they've played so tight on offense trying to protect Cordell. At some point, you got to let that bazooka go. And I knew they lose Plexico Burris with his shoulder, so he's lost one weapon there, but you got to stretch it.
Oh, the hits keep coming, and they all seem to be delivered by the Jaguars. 4 Steelers out of the game with injuries. Here's the throw. And a catch by Bobby Shaw, who had a terrific season last year. They signed up the Seattle practice squad. Consistent player. 7-yard gain.
Yeah, come on now. What does that do for you? Don, I mean, you've been covering football a long time. It's 3rd and 10. You throw a 6-yard hook.
Brings up 4th and 2.
There you go.
Throw another one, you got a first down.
Maybe that's the strategy.
That's it.
Huh?
Take it in small pieces. You're right, though. They got to air it out. But well, the fastest wide receiver, Troy Edwards, is coming out wide left. He has no catches. He's at the bottom of the screen. Cordell looking. There he is on the run. Cordell with a good move and gets out of bounds, and he gets ahead for a first down. That's a good offense. Let Cordell take off with it. 15-yard run by Cordell Stewart.
Sometimes you got to put a little slash back into the diet, right? This is nothing wrong with this little slash stuff here. Nice job by Zeraway in here, and get a nice job of blocking and protecting, getting Kevin Hardy out of the play. Cordell realizing he has nobody downfield, go make a little play. The slash still has it in it.
The Steelers want to mix the run and the pass more this season. Last season they ran the ball 527 times. Only Tennessee ran it more in the whole league. Zeraway. He can play as Amos Zeraway. Hard to take a shot at. List him at 5'8". Born in Africa, raised on Long Island. Started at West Virginia. And Bill Cowher said, Craig, he's just a much more mature guy. He has really been a leader in our kicking game, and now from scrimmage, he's a factor, a big one. 7 carries for 56 yards for Amos Zeraway.
Gary Moeller was afraid of that, the defensive coordinator in Jacksonville. That extra burst would hurt him.
Zeraway again. He always has 2 arms on the ball when he meets contact.
Not a very tall guy, but I'm telling you, he weighs 210, and I think about 200 of it's in each arm. His biceps reminded me of Jim Nance. Yeah. I mean, big old strong guy, you know?
Blacksmith
just really strong.
Gary Glanville arms. Here is a throw and a catch by Bruner. But again, they go to the offensive sets and play calls that Greg James disdains. You're down 21-3. The game is wearing on. 6.5 to go. And you're dinking and dunking.
Well, that dink and dunk, unless they're taking your approach where, you know, it's 3rd and, 2. Now you get 1 yard, so it's 4th and 1, and you go for it again. At some point, they got to do it. He's got to push it up the field.
Those safeties playing way back for the Jaguars, though, Craig. They're not going to give anything deep up. This defense has really been in position today. Cordell. Gobbled up. Swept under. The 3rd sack of the day for the Jags defense. And Paul Spicer, who they call down to step in for one of their stars, Tony Brackens, delivers the sack. I'm out on the field at Jacksonville. There is the Jaguars' best pass rusher, Tony Brackens, but he's on crutches, injured in a preseason game with the Cowboys when he was illegally blocked by Clozell Adams, who was fined over $30,000 by the league for that block. Red Taylor runs the ball. That's what Brackens, 37 career sacks, 4 interceptions. God keeps the heat on. Pressure defensive end.
I've always liked him. I thought when he came out of college he was underrated at that time, and I know everybody thought a lot about him, but I would have taken him even higher.
The other thing, his second-round draft shows. The other thing, he hits hard. This guy from the University of Texas,
full speed.
He is a hard tackler. He doesn't finesse anybody once he breaks through the blocking. Red Taylor looking to get by, and he is cornered and thrown down. Good defensive play by Lee Flowers. As we look at the Jags schedule, they'll be a favorite, I would think, next week when they go to Soldier Field in Chicago to meet the Bears. Then a huge game, their arch rivals, Tennessee, coming in on September 23rd, a CBS game. Then Cleveland comes in, so they got a good chance to go 3-1, maybe 4-0.
And they get Brackens back around Cleveland. Maybe he's healthy enough to come back at Tennessee a little early.
Last year, as mentioned, the Jaguars started out 2-6. Didn't have Fred Taylor for the first 3 games and only parts of the next 3. And the year 7-9. The bar has been set so high here, though, as they expect this team to be in the playoffs every year, and they usually are. Last season, when they didn't make it, was the first time in 5 years they didn't make the playoffs.
And you and I both asked them, and there was kind of a theme of, yeah, we've got to get it done now. Because with that window that we've had of all the success, our guys are getting old, the salary cap issues. This is a year they must do it if it's going to happen with this group.
Well, they have the salary cap issues, the Jaguars. They were $38 million over this year. As Hank Poteet looks for a gap and dives the ball out to the 23-yard line on the punt return. They had to cut 15 players in February and March because of their salary cap problems. A 52-yard punt, 14-yard return, and believe it or not, the Jaguars are $23 million over the cap for next year. The Steelers are $13 million under.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by American Express. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, American Express helps you do more. And by Nextel, how business gets done.
With Craig James and Beasley Reeves, this is Don Criqui back at Jacksonville. Steelers have the ball. First down and 10. Cordell Stewart from the gun. Throws and connects. This is Amos Zaraway. And he weaves ahead out to the 30-yard line. A gain on the play of about 7 yards. Second down and 3. Hardy Nickerson on the stop. But again, Craig, that short pass offense when you got a lot of ground to make up.
Watch both safeties that time. They had 2 high. That meant they had 2 free safeties going back deep. They really try to take away. I don't mind it on 1st and 10 going underneath like that, picking up 7. It's just when it's 3rd and 10 that you throw a 6-yard pass I don't like.
And off goes to Zaraway, and he dives ahead, and he appears to have very close to a first down. Looks like he's just short of it where they're spotting the ball.
Plus the fact, you know, a lot of these plays that are being called, they're not sending players deep. You know, so Cordell's working within the system of what's being called and asked of him out here.
That's right. These players are not. They're being sent into Cordell. Third and short. Is it a keeper? It's a pass. Markers down. Throw and a catch. If the play goes, it's a first down. As Hines Ward makes the catch. Clock stop with 3:17 to go. Hines Ward has been the most productive receiver for the Steelers. 6 catches for 74 yards today. Jags offside. Play goes. Hines Ward, who played 5 different positions. I know you did a lot of good things at SMU, but 5 different positions at Georgia. Running back, wide receiver, punt returner. I think he played some defensive back. He did it all.
He was a player. Still is.
Famous name in Georgia Bulldog football lore. Hines Ward. Steelers now have it. First down and 10. Long ball. Huge ball thrown downfield by Cordell Stewart, but even the super fast Troy Edwards couldn't get to it. And it goes as a long out. Second down and 10.
you know, maybe sometimes you try to do things that you shouldn't do. You know, I thought Bobby Shaw over here in the slot over here, I thought him going up the pipe maybe was where he should have gone with the football. He tried to push it up to the top here. Linebacker level, boom, ball to him right now. Safety's back deep. Go ahead and throw the ball right now as soon as he clears linebacker level.
Opening day wins are so important since the league went to 16 games in 1978. 23 years time since then. Here's a bad snap. Ball on the field. And even with the rain stop, the Steelers unable to get their offense on track. But over these 23 years, teams that win on opening day go to the playoffs 54% of the time. Teams that lose on opening day go less than 23% of the time. So opening day wins loom large in how you're going to do in postseason, or if you're going to get there.
90%. That is a huge number. And to start a game like this with such intensity in the division and a rivalry puts more pressure on teams.
Dropping the throw, Cordell Stewart on 3rd and long. There's a throw and a catch and a first down. Troy Edwards lost the first down as he runs back, and give him forward progress. He had the ball at the 49 for a first down, cut back, and he lost it, taken down there, but they ruled it was forward progress even though he ran back.
Yeah, I tell you what, I agree with that. I think he did run back. But, you know, when you talk about the routes that they've been running, this one here had time to develop. They allowed it to develop. He came back across, made the play. And you know, I thought that time particularly Stewart saw the entire secondary as opposed to one side of the field.
That was a very good throw. Stewart again ends in. Near side throw, makes the connection. This time it's Bobby Shaw. And he's ahead for a gain of about 8 yards as we come down to the 2-minute warning. 1:59 left to play in Jacksonville, and the Jags from the Armour Brunel continue to lead. Back in Jacksonville, the ball is dry now. One of the remarkable things about this stadium, which I think is one of the best in football, is the rain we had was torrential and the playing field remained excellent.
On top of what we had last night, that was torrential for about 20 or 30 minutes. This field drains extremely well. Of course, that's what Beasley said early in his report.
But the Jaguars got what they wanted. They got heat and humidity early. They got a driving rain the Steelers were unable to negotiate in as the game wore on. And the Jaguars, with 2 minutes to play, continue to lead as they did at the half, 21-3. Cordell Stewart, long ball, intercepted. And returned by Donovan Darius. Here's a guy that blocked the punt, and Darius is all the way down inside the 40. Rain is stopped, but the Jaguars defense continues to pour on the Steelers. Return of 40 yards by Donovan Darius.
All right, what's happening? Swartz going to come up here, and he's going to look at him. He does a little oop, and he tries to hit. Now he's open temporarily, but the safety comes over by Donovan Darius. That ball's got to be gone right now. Either that or don't throw it to the left side.
4th Pittsburgh turnover. And Bill Cowher will probably now see the Jaguars just run the ball into the line, pick up their winnings, go to the locker room, and go on ready for Chicago and the Bears next week.
There'll be a lot of people around the country look at this score, 21-3, and say, wow. Everybody, that is, except for the 53 men on the Jacksonville Jaguars and their staff. They expected to play a good game today.
Down 3-0 early, and then they let it rip at 3rd and 13. Touchdown throw by Mark Brunell and Jimmy Smith turned the game. Steelers were never in it after that. Tonight on 60 Minutes, why is Henry Kissinger being accused of aiding and abetting an assassination? The victim's son talks to 60 Minutes tonight. Then, if you or anyone you know missed any part of The Amazing Race, here's your chance to see it. Don't miss the encore presentation of the show. The critics give 4 stars. Followed by the CBS Sunday movie, The Patron Saint of Liars, starring Ellen Burstyn and Dana Delaney. It's all here tonight on CBS. Cordell and the Steelers on the sideline looking for answers. Brunell, the game in hand, goes to his go-to runner. And we talked about a statement half, stats half, and here is Fred Taylor breaking it inside and down to the 15-yard line. 24-yard run. But with the game won, and you got a guy that's missed 9 games in the last 2 years with injuries, do you keep running him?
Not anymore. He's over 100. I'd get him out of there. He has to be over 100.
Well over 100.
Yeah, I believe I'd have him out. We'd be in victory formation right now.
He's only at 88, huh?
Is that right? 88. Seems like he's had more than that. He must have had a lot of losses today.
Yeah, he did have some losses because he was in the 70s in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Now they'll down the ball, and that will do it. An opening day win for Tom Coughlin and his Jacksonville Jaguars. A very nicely done game by Tom Coughlin. His team comes up and wins for a 6th straight year on opening day. Now for Craig James and Beasley Reese, I'm Don Crickett saying so long from Alltel Stadium, where the final score is the Jaguars 21, the Steelers 3. Jim Nance in New York is coming up next with all the scores and stories. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.
Hope you enjoyed the game of your choice, everybody. I'm Spencer Tillman, your NFL Sunday Ticket guide. I'll be back in 30 seconds with scores and updates from today's early action and a rundown on the late kickoffs as well, right after this.
Only one movie will get your adrenaline